Jesse, you were asking what the film is, or the show is about. This article that I'm reading says Echo will follow Maya as she reconnects with her native roots while dealing with the fallout of shooting Fisk in the Hawkeye series finale. Along with deep diving into Maya's character, the series will reportedly feature guest appearances by Daredevil's Charlie Cox and Fisk. So I guess this is going to be the Daredevil setup. Like that's how they're going to try to get people in the show.
Yeah, I mean, like you give that too much credit.
What?
The Daredevil setup? No, they're gonna be cameos in one episode. I don't know about setup. What I do know is that
sure. Yeah.
I understand why they would drop it all at once now, because you telling me that Echo is going to like go find her roots and shit. I don't know Echo. We barely knew Echo in the show she was in. Sure. I don't give a shit about her roots. So unless it's compelling and I learn over the stage of the story that we're about to get what her roots are and why it's important right now, none of that matters to me. Like I don't, as a character, she did not stand out in any way in
any way. No, just
Hunter Man, Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
Didn't stand out in any way in Hawkeye. And it sucks because like she's a cool character that it would have been fun to know more about, but because so much was going on in Hawkeye, she barely had time to become a thing. And so I don't know or care about Echo.
Yeah.
So they got to get me to care. And I guess the way they're going to do that is drop it all at once. So I just like plow through all the episodes.
I'm right there with you. It's
the show was bloated with so many weird subplots and so many characters. I don't think the actor really had a chance to do anything. Like we spent an entire episode LARPing. And I know people thought it was fun, but when we're talking about real estate, like time real estate, screen real estate, the choices they made in that show are questionable for me to this day, where I'm just like, what was this episode for?
Yeah.
Why did we spend 30 minutes doing this? Like in a
there
show
was a
that
lot of setup.
rushed.
You're right.
It didn't make any sense. And so like, of course we didn't get any time with Echo. We spent a lot of screen real estate on weird shit that is not going to have an impact on anything really.
They did a lot of work to make Yelena incredibly likable again and super fun. And she took up like 3 episodes of time. Echo was supposed to be this brand new character in this threat and this like storyline. She appears. She's like in it for an episode and a half, disappears, comes back a little bit, disappears, and then like shows up at the end to pop her dad. And that's it. And it's like, oh. And she gets a show? And we're supposed to be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, they have to win us over with this one, I think.
I agree. This will spin, I think, the conversation in a different direction, so I don't know how long we'll spend in it. But I read an interview about the lead from the Hawkeye show, whose name I'm forgetting. The female actress. Yeah. And she was basically asked like if she's gonna, play the character anytime soon. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And today, or maybe this past week, Charlize Theron was asked if she's going to have like her Marvel return. And she was like very skittish about it as well. And so now I'm just wondering / like, I wouldn't say worried, but with all these like, and Harry Styles is another one, right? At the end of Eternals that we just watched. Like, do you think we ever see those people play those characters again? Like, do we see them ever just show up in anything?
They're also in a situation where they probably can't say much.
Sure.
For a couple of different reasons. One being like the writers are striking right now, and Disney is a big target for that. So I personally also wouldn't be like, I hope I'm in a Disney property soon. So like I also probably be like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
But then I think the other part is like, if you have a burgeoning career outside of Marvel, I've noticed a lot of the Marvel people don't necessarily want to keep doing that. They feel boxed in by it.
Boxed in by like only doing Marvel stuff? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's incredibly physically demanding, and you to commit to that for years at a time, and it completely changes your look.
Sure.
And I don't know. You could, because there is a chance you'll get the Loki treatment, or there's a chance you get the Dave Bautista treatment where you're a one joke punchline, but you're getting in makeup for 14 hours for a walk on where you make one joke and walk off. So I think it depends. I think people have figured out that, I mean, John Boyega was very open about not liking his writing in Star Wars. And I think everybody hopes that you're going to get these roles and they're going to be amazing. But a lot of times you end up getting shafted. So
Yeah.
I completely understand people's reticence. And Charlize Theron is like a very established actress. She doesn't need
Oh, yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah. She's huge. Yeah.
Like, if anything, they need her as Clea. Kate Blanchett doesn't need this.
Yeah.
There's like two big things to think about, which is one, when you sign with them, you sign for like X number of movies. And so you're locked in to those films. And I guarantee there's some sort of clause where it's like, our movies take priority and precedence. So like, if you want to do other films, sure, but they can't interfere with our shooting times or our shooting schedule. So that's a thing they do.
That happened
but also
with Captain America 4 that's filming right now. There's a wrestler who's on the show and he couldn't go to the WWE live events because he was filming. And so he just had to stop wrestling.
and because you are locked in, there's also the thing with what Bronze was saying, like, you are given the script to movie one and you read it and you're like, man, I'm gonna audition for this character, or they want me to do it. I don't even have to audition. Hell yeah. And I'm signed for 6 movies and they're going to pay me how much? Incredible. And then you might end up at the end of movie 1 going into movie 2 where you have 2 lines. But hey, bro, guess what? You're in the background of half the scenes and you got 2 lines and tough. You got to be there. And anything else that would have been more fulfilling to you as an actor, whatever, you need to be there for reshoots. You need to free up your schedule, or, in the Boyega version, oh my God, at the end of the first movie, I have a lightsaber and I may be a Jedi? Nah, dude, in the second movie, you're like injured half the time and then you go to a casino. The third movie, you do nothing of value. And then at the end, you go like, right there, that's where the array is. Well, how do you know? I sensed it. Cool character development. Good job. And I would be angry if that was my character.
Yeah.
So, but dude, I guarantee sign on for a trilogy and had no say in what they wrote for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I would love to see more Charlize Theron. The Hawkeye is kind of like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know where any of that goes at this point, but talking about Loki for a little bit, they're changing up somewhat of a release strategy for that. We're going back. They originally had these come out on Fridays, right? And then we went to Wednesdays.
Thursdays. It was always Thursday, then it went to Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for Loki, we're going to Friday. They will premiere on Fridays, starting on October 6th. I don't know why.
Friday.
Yeah. That'll fall on Columbus Day holiday weekend, which this article is saying, indicating the shift was made in hopes of capitalizing on the masses being off work and at home watching TV.
No. There's a reason why people, unless they're looking for weekend views, and it doesn't matter if they get Friday views.
Yeah.
Because the one lesson I've learned over the years of doing jobs like this is Fridays where you dump the shit that you're like, I don't care if anyone watches.
Right.
Because Friday is when most people, 18 to 24, 18 to 35, are not at home.
They're out.
Yeah. They go out,
even if your core audience is like the nerdiest MFers on the planet, they still doing other things besides sitting at home alone watching TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weekday evenings and mornings is primetime slots for television.
Right.
Like if you
for
want
most media,
it's when people come home from work and they turn on the TV, the late night show, whatever is playing there, that's the primetime slot. Like the shit that comes on at 7 to 9 p.m. on Thursday. That's the fucking that's the money slot.
Yeah.
And I know we can joke around and be like, who goes out anymore? But like, seriously, it doesn't, like, it's just the nature of the beast. It is a thing that happens. and it's just across the board. And you know,
Mhm.
you can joke and be like, nerds are just stay at home and playing
People
video games. Yeah, they're playing video games. They don't get time to watch your show
Exactly,
on a
they're
Friday
not on
night.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like even and we're not saying, oh, people go out and drink. I mean, some people do. Other people, they have D&D night. They've got Warhammer at the local games store. They're playing Magic the Gathering. I'm trying to speak your language here. That's the day they try to climb the League of Legends ladder with their friend because they both have Saturdays off. Odds are they're not watching television though.
Yeah.
And most people Sunday are prepping for the fact that they have to like go back on
That's
Monday,
staring
which
at
is
the
why.
ceiling.
Yeah.
That's
Which is
laying
why
in bed
morning
staring at
is-
the ceiling, being like, why don't I have enough money to quit? That's Sunday.
Yeah. And that's why Monday morning is a prime time to release stuff because people are at the office like, what can I do besides work? It's like, the numbers are out there. The stats exist. People know this information. It's not like a secret. That's why when like politicians or companies get into some scandal, they always drop the information Friday
On a
night.
Friday, yeah.
They know
Yeah.
no one's going to give a shit over the weekend. It's just a thing.
Social media kind of
Crazy.
ruined that in a lot of ways, but yeah, that's the age-old practice for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, Wednesdays, Thursdays were perfect. It's a perfect release. Friday, here's the thing. People will still watch it. It's Loki. It'll get its views. But it is weird that Friday is like, unless they have some internal stat where like Loki released on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Well, they did
nobody watched it until the weekend, unless they have that stat that we don't know about.
They might, yeah, because chat was saying that with Loki, the first season, that's when they went to releasing on Wednesdays. So now they're doing it the opposite and going back to Fridays with it, which is kind of an interesting factoid about that. But yeah, we'll see. We brought up Daredevil. We got some set photos. The first one is from Sandrine Holt, who is playing the new, I guess, Vanessa. It's a different actor or actress in Disney Plus.
Okay.
And this is this is from an Instagram post. So you're going to see some Instagram comments with a ton of tags on it. But that's her right there on the set, taking some photos with some fans. So she's okay.
She looks fine. She'd be a fine Vanessa, but like, yeah. I was about to say another, like they can't hold a Vanessa actress to like save their life.
Yeah.
Marvel just can't do it. But I guess in the end, it doesn't particularly matter. However, yeah, this is just a photo of a person having a good time. So I don't know anything about how Vanessa's actually going to look, right?
No, this is on set. So like that's her attire.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Or is that her just like chilling and hanging?
It's on set because these photos were also on set. And there's Wilson Fisk with a little American flag pin, which maybe means he's running for office or something, is what people are thinking for the story of that. Which, if that's like the greater MCU, that could be kind of fun. If he's doing Mayor of New York or even something bigger than that. That could
What's
be
insane
a cool
about
tie-in
this?
with Spider-Man.
What's
Daredevil,
insane about this
whichever.
is the Wilson Fisk of Hawkeye. They made like comical looking. He looks like way bigger, way buffer.
Yeah.
And then this guy just looks like a dude running for office. Like it's just, they got to figure out what they want to do with these characters.
Did they give him like
Look at him, he looked-
prosthetics in that? Because he did look really big in Hawkeye.
Yeah, he looked
It's
goofy
probably how
big.
they like clothed him too.
You
Yeah.
think? Yeah. Well, he was also, I guess, on screen with someone who's much smaller than him. And
I mean, on this photo, he's with someone much smaller than him, and he looks like a normal human.
he does look
doesn't
normal. Yeah.
He was wide, like Spider-Man, Spider-Verse wide. It was goofy.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He was very, very large. But yeah, I'm curious where they go, like story wise with that. If it's gonna be.
I just looked it up and looked up images, and it definitely looks like they had him in suits with shoulder pads. So he looks like a Moby Dick goon in some of the pictures because it's legitimately like shoulder pads out to here. So I don't know about a prosthetic, but like they had him like padded up in the clothes. So he just looks 3 times as wide as he does normally.
Right.
I mean, like, I understand Fisk is huge, but they had him perfect in Daredevil. Like, the kingpin of the Daredevil show was perfect. And I don't like there's no reason to change just to change. Like, just give us the man I want to see. That's all. Just give me what I want to see, Marvel.
Well, they're going back to it, so it seems like you're getting at least a version of that. We'll see. Yeah. Jesse, I think it was you who was talking about contracts and signing on for X amount of films. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in a where did this show up? Interview with Rolling Stone. She was asked to comment on her Marvel Studios contract and how long she will hold her mysterious role as CIA Director Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. And the question was, are you signed to a 20-picture deal? And how long will she be playing Valentina? And she responded, for a while, it seems. So I guess she's going to be like sticking around, controlling things from behind the scenes or something. Cool. Which I think is fine. She was fine in all of her roles. So we'll see how that goes. I think the 20-picture deal was kind of a joke by the interviewer. So don't think that she's around for the next 20 years or however long it takes to make 20 films.
Question: does she show up in Secret War?
She could be a Skrull, maybe. I mean, she's definitely in Captain America.
For sure.
Yeah. She could be.
It's weird that Nick Fury is like a commodity in this universe, and then he's the TV show guy. You know what I mean? Like, he stopped appearing in movies, and now he's the TV guy. And I'm like, so the CIA and S.H.I.E.L.D., or what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D., don't, like, talk?
Yeah.
What about S.W.O.R.D.? There's a lot of things that I'm like, you got to flush out your universe again, because there was a period where we kind of knew everything, and now it's like, does anyone even communicate in this world anymore? How does this work?
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned Secret Wars and Samuel L. Jackson. There was a big article where he quote unquote revealed why the Avengers won't have a big role in Secret Invasion. And he basically comes out and says, like, he doesn't trust people with powers anymore, is kind of where he's getting at. The quote is, Nick comes back having lost whatever power he had before, so he tried to solve things without being too superhuman. Looking at the MCU through these different lenses, you get to see all these different sides of the characters, so we really get to sort of dig into who they are. And then Emilia Clarke and Colby, it's Kobe, not Colby, Smulders said, the idea of who can you trust, that is really the heart of our show. You could be talking to somebody you have a very close relationship with and then find out that's not who you thought it was. So they're definitely diving into that as well with did you see this new trailer for the show that came out? I think it was on their Instagram. It has these images here. I'll show you real quick. I'm kind of glad they're leaning into that, though. I think we all talked about that when the show was announced or when we watched the trailer. So they're doing like this type of advertisement where it's very like spy thriller related. Here's the next thing. I only have stills of it. I don't have the actual trailer, but they're doing that. So I think that's why you don't see Nick Fury around that much, Jesse, is because you can't trust folk. At least that's what they're going with.
No. I mean, so in this story, I very much understand that. Like, if you can't trust anyone, like, I get that. But Nick Fury in general, like, pieced out and then is returning for this. But I don't know where he fits in the future of the franchise. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
there's so many, like, I'm the operative characters now that it's like, where does Nick Fury fit? And do they talk to each other? Are they working against each other? Are they, because right now, currently, as far as I remember, there is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, there's Martin Freeman, there's I don't know the actress's name, my apology, but there's the person who was like
Sharon.
She one time kissed Captain America, but Sharon. I can't remember her damn name.
Sharon Carter. Is that you're talking about?
Yeah, the like broker or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Nick Fury, And that's just the 4 I can think of right now. The sword guy from WandaVision, the what's his face who's always chasing Scott Lang? Like there's like all these
guy?
like yeah, there's like all these different characters who are the agent. And then where do they fit in? There's so many.
Yeah. I wonder like how many of those people show up in this. Because you also have Rhodey, right? And like Rhodey is the president's right-hand man, is what we learned on our last episode when that leak happened.
I'm telling you, I think Rhodey is 100% a Skrull.
You think he'd when do you think the swap happened?
I don't know, but I just know the big reveal is that Rhodey's going to be a Skrull. I have to believe this. The entire season, we're going to be sitting there like, you got to trust him. He's the only one. He's the only Avenger here that's trustworthy. And then in the end, he's like, I tricked you, bitch. I'm telling you. Calling it now.
I'm trying to think. Because I guess it could have happened when he like got paralyzed or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe he died there or some shit. Or died when they were, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They'll probably address it.
I just want to be kept guessing for however many episodes they make. I want going into the last episode still to be like, I don't know, y'all. I can't wait. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I want it to be good.
Same. I hope it is.